My dear Athenians, unlike my accusers, I will tell you the truth and will not attempt to embellish it with fancy words. Actually, my accusers make such pretty speeches that I almost believe them myself, even though they have not said anything true. I have been formally accused of corrupting the young men of Athens and also of undermining the traditional Athenian worship of the gods. Informally, however, my real problem is the accusations that have been leveled against me in the form of a number of malicious rumors, the type of slanders that are illustrated in Aristophanes' play, The Clouds. These slanders say that I am a weirdo who spends his days walking around Athens talking to people. I admit that the rumors are correct on this point. However, the rumors also say that I study the universe and teach people about it in return for money, and that I use reason and logic to make very bad ideas sound like good ones. I deny this. I will address the informal accusations first. I have a reputation for being wise, and not entirely without reason. However, I am not actually wise. Let me explain by telling you how I became a philosopher. I have a friend named Chaerephon, who went to visit the oracle at Delphi, who speaks for the god Apollo. Chaerephon audaciously asked Apollo whether any man is wiser than I, and was told through the oracle that none is. Naturally, hearing this made me a little uncomfortable, for I know that I have no wisdom. I set to work trying to figure out what the heck the god was talking about. I began to question the politicians who were thought to be wise to see what I could learn from them. Unfortunately, I learned that none of them were really wise, though they believed they were. I proceeded to show them that they were not wise, despite their pretensions. This made them rather upset with me. But I continued in my quest to find the wise person and learn from him, questioning not just the politicians but also the poets and the craftsmen of Athens. I found no one wise, though I found many with pretensions to wisdom. In service to the god Apollo, I do my best to show all people who think they are wise but are not, that they are not wise. You know, I don't understand why so many people don't like me. I am only helping them, and this I do in service to Apollo. I am a very pious man. Well, I soon learned what the god meant when he said that I am wise. My dear Athenians, I am wise only because I know that I am not wise. To be more precise, I have enough wisdom to be aware of my ignorance. I don't know much of anything, but I know what I do not know. It may be that this is the best a human being can hope for, that the most wisdom possible for a man is an awareness of the limits human knowledge. In any case, I continue to seek for wisdom. Specifically, I seek knowledge of the good life. I want to know what is the right way to live as a human being in community with other humans. I ask questions such as, what is the best form of government? What is justice? What is courage? And what are all the other virtues? How does the soul function properly? What sort of behaviors bring the soul into a state of good health? After all, if I want to have a healthy body, it is good to eat broccoli and brush my teeth and things like that. But what shall I do if I want to have a healthy soul? I have now addressed the slanderous rumors against me. Now for the formal accusations. I have not corrupted the youth, at least not intentionally. Seriously, guys, if I had been intentionally trying to corrupt the youth, I would have been trying to make them into worse people. But would that have made my life among my fellow citizens any better? Bad people don't treat other people very well, do they? What kind of a moron do you think I am? You know, the thing about corrupting young people is that it is very easy, much easier than making them better. My accusers seem to think that I am the only man in all of Athens who corrupts the youth, while everyone else improves them. This would be very odd, because it usually works differently. Consider dogs. Most people make dogs worse, but only a rare person who has expertise can make them better, namely a dog trainer. The same is true of horses. and of the body. Most people do not know much about what produces health in the body. Only a doctor knows this. As for the other charge, let it be known that I believe in the gods. In fact, it is my obedience to the god Apollo that has brought me here. My dear Athenians, shall I remind you that I have always lived justly among you? When others committed injustices under the influence of the tyrants, I risked my life to stand for the law and do what was right. You may condemn me to death today, but I am not afraid of death. I don't know what happens after death, so I have no reason to fear death. Fear is not an empty emotion. It means something. To fear something is to believe that it is bad. But I don't actually know that something bad happens at death. How could I know? It's not like I've died once before and learned what it's like. Anyway, there is reason to be optimistic about death. Either there is life after death or there is not. If there is not, then death is the end of all sensation. How could that be bad? It would be rather like falling into a deep sleep. But if there is life after death, then death is simply the gateway to another life. Either way, death is nothing to be afraid of. Taking all these things into consideration, I will continue to practice philosophy. Seeking wisdom is the best thing I can do with my life, especially since Apollo wills it of me. My dear Athenians, it would be wrong for me to stop practicing philosophy, and I fear doing something wrong far more than I fear you, or even death.